I have a link too for the boot camp.
Oh, great.
I'll stick it in there.
Yeah, if you can drop it in there. We are live, it looks like, on Facebook and YouTube.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably share it out.
Yeah, let's give this a couple minutes and before we get started and going.
Look at that. It's so weird to see that.
So weird to see yourself?
Yeah, it is kind of weird. All right, let's share that. Share it out there.
Excellent. I already see people starting to hop on here. So go ahead and give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. All right. If you are hopping onto the broadcast with us, let us know that you are watching. You can go ahead and give us a thumbs up or start commenting so that we can see your name on our end and give you some shout outs here in a little bit. Perfect. Terrific. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get kicked off and started. I am Juliette Abdel, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to be on another live broadcast, even more so today because it is Friday, which means that the weekend is tomorrow. And not that I don't love what I do and generally it bleeds into the weekend, but I do feel like a sense of pressure that's been relieved whenever Friday comes my way. So good morning to you all. If you are a first-time viewer onto our page, please be sure that you hit the like button and the notification button so that you can get alerted when we go live in the future. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for continuing to view our live broadcast that we've been hosting since March. So for almost a year now. Thank you for sharing this out, for commenting and engaging with us. We continue to provide these as an informational tool, and the feedback that you provide us has been incredibly helpful in that regard. So if you are watching this on Facebook, then there is a videos section where you can find all of the videos dating back into March of last year. So feel free to binge watch over the weekend any of those videos and let us know which ones you're watching along the way. It's always fun to see a like from something months ago. Of course, at the very same time that we are streaming this on our Facebook page, we are also streaming it on our YouTube channel. So for those of you that are not aware, we have a Westminster Chamber of Commerce channel on YouTube. Please feel free to share that out with people that you may be aware of that do not have access to Facebook. And of course, engage with us on all of our platforms. We're on Instagram, on Twitter, and of course on LinkedIn. Westy Chamber on Instagram and Twitter, Westminster Chamber of Commerce on LinkedIn. And no, I'm not entirely bored by giving this shame spiel every time that I open this up. So as you guys, I know. I feel like it's like on the back of my hand at this point. I see Christina on here. Good morning to Christina. Thank you for hopping on. I also see Wayne Anderson and a couple other folks. Please be sure that you give us a thumbs up or start commenting so we can see you tuned in with us. There is a feature that is where we engage with you, and that's the comment section. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, you can actually comment any pleasantries that you want to share away, any compliments that you want to throw, whether it's the fact that we're matchy today, or anything else. Let us know what that is. And of course, if you have any questions during the content that we share with you or message that we share out, let us know what those questions are so we can be able to address those for you. I already see with us that Wayne Anderson has given us a nice good morning note. He has used that comment feature already. And so I just wanted to display that as an example. Wayne is watching on YouTube, and that's why you see the little red box that's there appearing. So without further ado, it's been already 5 minutes in the broadcast, believe it or not. And I know that a lot of people are starting to tune in with us because they want to know what's going on and get in the know on updates and resources and all things chamber. Good morning to you, Parker. Thank you for hopping onto the broadcast.
Good morning.
So appreciate it, especially during kind of your busy time in the day. So it does not go unnoticed. So As you all are aware, every month we do a chamber updates video. This is our way of kind of capturing what we're doing outside of just program and events, kind of big picture that we're plugged into, whether it's information or resources that are out there for our businesses. It's just it's not necessarily a shameless plug because I'm not over here saying come on board and join, but it is a shameless resource plug so that you can utilize everything that we have out there and just be aware of what those things are. So I generally do these on a monthly basis, at least once a month. In the past, I've done it by myself, but this year, so in 2021, every year we have a new board chairman for the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. And our board chair this year is actually Peter Brissett. And most of you know Peter as the digital marketing dude. He owns Review Me Marketing and has been a part of our board for as long as I've been around. So that's been about 4 years. But even before that, he was one of the founding members to the chamber. So Peter, thank you for hopping on here with me and for wanting to kind of tag team these chamber updates and make them a little bit more lively.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's great to be on again. I feel like it's been a long time. I feel like I'm on with a celebrity. Like you are all about it in the city of Westminster. And some of your latest broadcasts, I'm like, who is this? It's like Oprah Winfrey here. You're like, people are sharing their deepest emotions and feelings. I'm like, I'm a little concerned I might be in trouble. So hi, everybody out there, Wayne and Parker. Thanks for being on the program today. And yeah, we're just going to talk about what's going on and give some updates, answer questions, and hopefully have an enjoyable Friday.
Well, as those of you that are starting to hop on here with us, I did just share that Peter is now our board chair, and I want to give him as much love and just kind of applause as much as I can virtually. So help me do that by typing into the comment section, either a thumbs up, give me like an applause icon or emoji or whatever else so that we can share in that excitement with him, because so excited to have not only somebody in the business community lead the organization, but somebody who is very much supportive of a lot of small business activities. And we'll get in detail on how exactly Peter's plugged in outside of the chamber here in a little bit. But Peter, I know we have a list of items that we wanted to touch on today. So if we can get started maybe with the big picture kind of COVID type of things that we're plugged into.
Yeah, let's talk about the latest on what's going on with that. We've got some updates with Jefferson County on their 5-star program. You want to give us where we're at on that, Juliette?
Yes. So as of this last week, and these numbers continue to go up, I know we've had over nearly 60 different inspections that have been completed, over 400 different applications that have already been submitted. And I know it's way more than that because that's not the most updated figure. And what that means is for any businesses that are in Jeffco, you can generally apply. There's an interest form that's on the Jeffco 5-star program page. We'll actually drop the link here momentarily so that you're aware of what that is. And I know folks like Parker and some others have already gone through this process and shared their experience. But essentially what this is, because Jefferson County and Adams are not at the level of being able to move fully into a specific dial tone or number, we can't fully apply the program. But what we're doing right now is any business that has an interest in moving through the COVID dial, moving to their ability to open up their business at a better rate or a higher rate, they're then applying through this 5-star program. And basically when they apply through the interest form, and although preference right now is given to restaurants, we have opened up preference as well to gyms and fitness centers, and we'll continue to open it for additional services or additional industries that are out there. But essentially what you do is fill out the interest form on the Jeffco 5-star program. Once you filled out the interest form, we will turn around. If you're in the industry cluster that's kind of ready to move forward, whether it's that restaurant or the gyms and fitness now, then you would receive an email with very detailed instructions. And I've actually looked through these details as well. But you'll receive that email that invites you to apply through on the program. And then once you've applied through on the program, there is a committee that reviews those applications for you. And then they'll turn back and either approve you or let you know what you need to modify and edit. Of course, as a business, you're then notified and you go through the dashboard to schedule your inspection. And once you pass your inspection, which according to a couple of folks that have already been through it, this is something that's very easy. once you pass your inspection, then you will be put on a queue. And once our numbers get to the point of being able to allow us to move to the official level, you'll be able to operate in the next level, if that makes sense. So once our numbers go down, then we can have those folks that are in the 5-star program be able to operate at the yellow level. And that's on the Jeffco side. We are very much ingrained in the process of this and are supporting not just through the marketing component of this program, but are also actively engaged on their administrative committee, on their marketing committee, and other things of that nature. So, Peter, I know you wanted to just provide a quick update on the ADCO side as well.
Yeah, so Adams County has officially applied to be a part of the 5-star program. It's going to take a little while before that gets going and gets opened up, but they've at least got their application going. And so that process has started. So it may be a little while before businesses in that area can start actually applying for it. And it's a great program. I know in other counties around the state that are doing it. I've been able to take advantage in a few restaurants and so forth that have it. So it's really a good program to help the businesses get open and get open a little bit more by following. It's a pretty strict guideline, but the businesses I've seen doing it seems pretty doable and definitely will be something that'll be helpful to them. So Adams is on the way, going to be a little bit, but if you're in Jeffco, get your application in, and if we can help you with that, let us know.
And what we're doing right now as well is anyone that may be interested in supporting the program as kind of educators or outreach, like as ambassador roles, let us know, because we do have a number of our existing chamber ambassadors that are willing to get plugged into this type of program. But I know that we've had some questions outside from the public that have asked, are we allowing for other people to be able to support and be the boots on the ground to help those businesses? So if you're one of those people that's interested, please do comment and let us know. The next item that we are going to move on is funding sources, which is one of those that we get a lot of questions on. What dollars are out there, especially right now during COVID? So Peter, do you want to touch a little bit on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's quite a few opportunities that have opened up. If you applied for Paycheck Protection Program last time around, but you had any additional losses over the year, you can actually apply again, or you can apply for the first time. And there's some opportunities. Colorado Enterprise Fund is one of the places that you can apply to. However, anybody that was already approved to do PPP lending previously is approved in this round as well. So if you've got, the local community banks and that kind of stuff as well are able to provide those loans. There are some grants out there. I did notice that Adams County has some new grants that they've made available for businesses. Again, anybody that's really been impacted by COVID, you've had closures or anything like that. There are some grant funding made available through Adams County as well. And then a couple of really interesting things that I think will be a benefit if you as a business applied for the economic disaster loan last year. A part of that application was an up to $10,000 grant. And if your business, let's say, had 2 employees, instead of getting the full $2,000, they gave you $2,000 of that grant. So that grant's free and clear. You don't have to pay that back. However, they came back with this legislation and came back around and said, you need to get the full $10,000. So the SBA is working on how to get that information out. So if you did not get the full $10,000 as a part of your grant for the application to the EIDL loan, you're now going to get that. So that's pretty great. The other thing that they did with PPP is that they've made the forgiveness piece of it a little more simplified. So you don't have to do as much documentation. Anybody that has a loan under $150,000, it's going to be a simple process. So that's still in process. All that hasn't come out yet from what I've seen. The other thing in PPP was that you had to deduct any of that grant money, that $10,000 grant money. You had to deduct that from your PPP loan. And so you wound up having to pay that back. That is not the case any longer. You do not have to deduct any of that grant money out of the PPP loan. So just that piece right there is quite a big difference with this latest legislation. So a lot of that's still rolling out. It's going to be a few weeks probably before you really see all those details on that piece. But PPP loans are open right now. Everybody's taking applications. So definitely are some opportunities there for folks.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and hop in. I know that you were very well versed on the PPP and the EIDL. I'm so glad that you shared some of those changes from the first piece of legislation to now. Additional types of programs that are out there. If you are a business on the Jeffco side, they have already opened the state small business relief program. So how this was created was by state legislation that had passed over the short period of time that they actually had convened, not this session, but kind of that special session that took place. And so they have partnered with counties to be able to distribute out the grants. It's the increments of $3,500, $5,000, and $7,000. But there's a method to the madness. So if your receipts are less than $500,000, you may be eligible for a grant of up to $3,500. If it's $500,000 to about $1 million that you generally have in revenue, then it's a grant up to about $5,000. And then the receipts are greater than $1 million, but less than $2.5 million, then it's a grant of $7,000. And what I've done was actually include the details of where you can find the information for the Jeffco component here in the chat section. I've also pulled it up on the screen. So if you are a business that is in need of those grants and are located on the Jeffco side of Westminster, that's where you would go. Now, of course, because we're 60-40, meaning that we're in Jeffco and Adams County as well, Adams County has also launched their program, their website directly. Let me go ahead and pull up the correct link for you. That's been included in the comment section here on our Facebook page, of course, also on the YouTube channel. The Adams County follows the same exact structure as Jeffco, again, because the state is a state small business relief program. It follows those one-time award amounts of $35,000, $5,000, and $7,000 per business applicant based on the company's annual income. So there's a lot of details as far as eligible businesses, restaurants, bars, breweries, wineries, distilleries, caterers, movie theaters, fitness centers. I mean, it's a number of industries are covered by this, and they do define what is small business based on an income level. So that's how they're qualifying what is what, and then demonstrating the need for the type of grant based on their impact. So there are full details on both the Jeffco website, if you're on the Jeffco side, if you're on the Adams County side, the Adams County COVID State Small Business Relief Program is also up and running. I know Peter touched on the EIDL, and the PPP, which are both obviously refunded now by the federal. You can already begin looking at what do I need to do to apply if you haven't before, and if you have, then you have a general idea. And we anticipate that to actually open up. I think we're guessing by the weekend, hopefully, or maybe the start of next week. So kind of know that. As far as additional loans are out there, Colorado Enterprise Fund, which was something that Peter alluded to earlier, they are partnered with Adams County as well to be able to offer a loan program through their organization. They're an organization that's statewide that offers support to small businesses. And the details of that program I've actually included into the comment section. So you'll see a blurb that says loan amounts of, $25,000 at 3.5 interest rate, et cetera. That is the program connected with Colorado Enterprise Fund. So long-winded. I'm going to take a quick sip over here.
I love talking about money, Juliet.
I do too. I love talking about
money coming towards me. And I hear that we have some other stuff to talk about, but I hear there's a way that I can get an easy $5,000.
Oh yeah. It does sound like it.
Apparently there's something we have that will help people get $5,000, and like anybody, not just businesses, right?
There are, you say that jokingly, but you know what, Peter? So outside of the stimulus that we mentioned to everybody, which hopefully folks have already received today, or EFT, or the transfer directly to their accounts. I know a lot of people that are waiting on the paper checks are still a little bit delayed with that stimulus that's out there. Mm-hmm. There is still support for those that may need assistance as it relates to housing. The Home Treasury Program is now offering actually an Emergency Rental Assistance Program. So that was something I know that they had dedicated over $25 billion in the line item for it. I don't believe it's been fully utilized. I'm going to go ahead and put up the link because I know that they were trying to have a deadline the start of this week. I'm not sure if they're extending it or what the parameters around that are, but if you are somebody who may need assistance as it relates to emergency rental, I would directly to this link, because if it's closed off, they're likely going to look at, how many applications they have and what funding is left over and whether or not they can do another program. So I do see Lisa Culpepper. Hello to you, Lisa. Thank you for hopping on here with us. And Tara, I also see Jason Ganal. Jason Ganal, believe it or not, was a quick congrats to you, Peter, but he wrote it on one of my shared videos, so I can't pull it up on the screen, but know that there was some love. Yeah, there was some love to you for being board chair. The rest of the folks are just like, what are you thinking, Juliet?
Right.
Somebody like that in that role.
Yeah. No, sometimes we make bad choices.
Right. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, right, especially after last year, really, why not?
I mean, can it be worse than last year?
Don't say that. So the next item we wanted to touch on as it relates to chamber programs. So we mentioned when I first kicked off this broadcast, if you're just now hopping on with us, we have Peter Brissett. Peter has been a member of the chamber since our inception and has been involved with our board for several years. He is now our current board chairman and will be on here with me for these chamber updates into the future, which we hold once a month. We've touched a little bit on COVID, the 5-star program that we are actively engaged in. And then we moved into the funding sources that we are aware of, because we have to share with you all what may be out there in terms of grants, in terms of loans, and be able to answer those questions. So as you are hopping onto the broadcast, please do me the favor of commenting if you have comments to share or asking any questions that you may have for us. Peter, we have events and programs that are coming up, and I think that's relevant for us to touch on just because those are our way to be outward facing. So we often get those questions of what events and programs you have, but I always like to put those secondary because that we do so much more outside of those that I like to lead with that first.
Absolutely. And this what we're talking about, all this money. There's more money out there for us.
There is more money.
Tell us about that, Juliet. How can I get more money?
How can you get more money? This is like the theme for Friday. I should have worn green instead of blue. The theme for today is money, right? Like what grants are out there, what loans are out there for COVID, and now what program or event are we doing that's offering money? And Peter is actually alluding to the We Love Westy sweepstakes. Now, for those of you that watched my update last month, thank you so much for watching it. You can actually find that video in the video section archive, and please do go back to it and listen to it, whether you are a customer or you are a business, so you can understand that program a little bit further, because I'm going over it pretty fast today and there's a lot of details that are involved. But the We Love Westy runs starting as early as Monday the 18th, and it'll go all the way through February the 15th. Area businesses that are here in Westminster are participating. And what I mean by that is if you shop, dine, or do business with these businesses, which our website is going live by this afternoon to share with you who exactly is plugged into it. Please check it frequently for the official rules. Check it frequently for the updated list of businesses that are participating, because we're getting so many people that are asking for more information right now. So anyways, check that so you can know where to go to shop, dine, and do business. But when you do business with those lists of participating businesses, you actually do have a chance at $5,000 in cash. And I held up 2 hands. I just got overly excited. It's only $5,000. It's $5,000 cash in totality. So we actually do give 3 prizes. You have a chance at all 3 prizes. And so that's why we say up to $5,000, but it'll be broken down by prize 1, $3,500, $1,500, and then $500. The week of February 15th is when we'll actually announce the winning numbers. And so how do you get the winning numbers, Peter?
You have to send the receipt to you.
No, stop.
What?
You have to shop, dine, or do business with our participating merchants who will give you a sticker, and the sticker has your ticket number. And so you hold on to that. I know you knew that. You were totally giving me a jab. You hold on to that sticker. And if I were you, this is what I personally do. And I'm not organized in general, but I am when it comes to like funding and prizes and random things that I need to hold on to. But I get like a little binder, and then I would put in there your stickers. So hold on to your stickers in like a little journal, whether it's like a little binder that you can slip it in, whatever it is, hold on to those stickers. until the end of the campaign. Because what generally happens is people get rid of the stickers and they're like, oh my gosh, I shot there.
Yeah.
And so then when the number goes out and they're like, oh, this came from Carrabba's, they're like, oh, I did shop there and I got a ticket. They'll call up Carrabba's and they'll say, Carrabba's, do you have that ticket? The restaurant doesn't hold on to who it gives it to. They give you the ticket, and it's your responsibility to hold on to it.
It's like losing a lottery ticket and winning the lottery.
It's kind of like that, but it's a sweepstakes. So we have different businesses providing those tickets in a different way. And so that's why we're saying you shop, dine, or do business. So when you go and interact with that individual business, they'll tell you how exactly you can get a ticket from them. If they don't tell you how to get a ticket from them, you ask for your ticket, okay? Yes. So don't walk away from there and then say, oh, I went there, but they never gave me it, or here's this person and they didn't do it. Ask for that sticker if they don't give it to you, and then hold on to it, please. Can't emphasize that enough. Nearly $5,000 in cash prizes that we'll be giving out. We Love Westy Sweepstakes. Details are going live this afternoon, along with the contest rules and, of course, the list of participating merchants. So if you have any questions, let us know. Yes, so we already have a question that came into us from Parker Brown. And the customer just mentioned they're here for the Westy Shop Local campaign. So Parker is connected with a participating merchant. So he is connecting as the Carrabba's restaurant. So if you are a consumer and you found him on the list and you went over there, Parker and his team should naturally give you the sticker. So when Parker gets an order, whether it's a to-go, he'll slap that sticker onto the to-go container. If it's somebody that's signing in, he'll put it on the dine-in receipt. If it's someone that's picking it up, he'll put it on that receipt and the bag. He will make sure that that sticker gets on there, or his team. Now, if for some reason his team is just like so frazzled, they're crazy busy, which is our hope, right? But they don't remember to give you the ticket. That's when you have to ask. So the impetus, or really the responsibility, goes back to both the business and it goes back to the consumer. So if you are going out there to make sure that you get a sticker, be sure that you ask it. And Parker, if you are in my campaign, which I know you are, do your best to make sure that all of your team gives out those stickers, because the more chances that they give out the stickers, the more chances that you are going to be the place that they win the prize from. So I know you want those bragging rights, but secondarily, it also will educate them that you have a campaign going on. And if I know that I can win $5,000 by eating Italian food, pretty sure I'm going to be eating Italian food every day for the next
right.
Just saying. Hope that answered your question, Parker. Other events that we have coming up, we have a business orientation, which we generally host not just for our existing members, our new members that are part of organization, but also any business in Westminster. And it is a free opportunity to learn more about our organization, but you also learn about other partners that we have in the community and statewide. So we often have the Colorado lending source that's there. We also have members of our city hall. So we have our permit and building office. They're generally there to answer questions for you. We have SBDC. We've had the BRC before. So we have all of those partners, along with all the leadership roles within our networking groups, there to answer questions for you. And we do that in such a short period of time. It's over a 60-minute window. So Peter, do you want to give them details on that?
So that's coming up February 9th, and we actually do 2 sessions on that day. So if you can't make the morning one, you can do the afternoon. It's going to be virtual, and the morning session will be from 9 to 10, and the afternoon session will be from 3 to 4. And they're really good. You really get to meet a lot of different people and connect with a lot of different resources for your business, and really get to get a better idea of all the different things that we do as a chamber. It will surprise you, all the things that we're helping businesses with.
Yeah, absolutely. So look out for the RSVP link. We'll drop it into the comment section of this broadcast. Again, you do not need to be a member. It's just like an informational tool. It's 60 minutes. So you'll get to see more about not only our organization, but other resources that are out there. Ask questions and engage. I always view this as an opportunity to get connected with other business owners and professionals. And sometimes when you do that, you feel like you know that person personally and you're not in it alone. So Peter always jokes about this, but I generally know, like, what Peter is up to in his personal life. I'll know, I'll know who he's seeing, where he's living. I'll even know about his employees, probably more than he's announced it to me. And then it's always like, where did you get this? And it's not because I'm a stalker, but it's just the level of engagement that you have with one another. And you get to a point where the relationships that you're developing are more than just transactional. And that is super supportive, especially sometime like this when you are solely relying on your support block in your group, and business orientations are one of those. Parker is asking if I'm a stalker. I'm going to refer to this question to later. Just know, Parker, I probably know more about you than you realize, especially since you are a Westie achiever. I mean, it's not. Make sure that you actually check out pretty well. And you do, believe me. So we've had some other questions that have come our way, and these questions have basically been not through the broadcast, but they've been kind of questions that have hit us between 2020 until 2021. And obviously, as you guys are aware, our chamber has been very we've adapted to COVID, right? And so with that, we've had to adapt our outreach that we generally do in terms of programs and events that we have. Those have changed. We've ramped up more on our advocacy efforts, of course, that we're doing. We've continued to do the community and economic development piece, and we've continued to do the COVID response and recovery for you guys. But our regular types of programs and events have kind of changed. And so we've gotten the question of, are we resuming ribbon cuttings? And yes, so ribbon cuttings have been done two ways in the world of COVID. And here's how it works. One is if you are, there's two choices for you, basically, if you are a business owner. You can either do a traditional ribbon cutting, which is basically people are there. They have an option of going their business, but it's not mandatory. And it is outdoor. So you have to be outside the whole time. You've got the socially distanced, spacing between all the attendees. They see your beautiful space. You get to make those remarks. We cut the ribbon. We take the photos. And then if they are comfortable and if they would like, they'll put on their mask, they'll go into your business and tour the space. The second type of ribbon cutting that we've offered is drive-by ribbon cuttings, and they are exactly what they sound like. They're super fun, and I think you were at both of those, right? You were at the. Yeah, you were at both of those. I think you were one of those that held your horn, and it was like, "Come on, I want to cut the ribbon."
Yes,
and you held your horn. Yeah, you were there in the background. So the drive-by ribbon cuttings are a lot more high energy because they're literally like you're in your car and you are driving by and honking your horn. So think of like a quinceanera, think of like a wedding, any one of those like outdoor type of functions. So fun, so high energy. And you're going around, you're just honking and raising attention, drawing attention to that space. And then we cut the ribbon right then. Again, people have an option of going into the business or of just kind of driving off. But those are the two ways that we're doing ribbon cuttings. And, I've had both of them done already in the last few months, and the feedback on both of them has been really good. So we're going to continue this just until we get a general normalcy in the future. But honestly, I like them. I think they're like, they shake things up. They're not your traditional, just go on out there and, they're different and they're good.
Yeah, it's good to get out and connect with folks. And and what we're talking about is how do we maintain connection and build community? And these are creative ways of doing that. So the more creative we can be to do that, then that's what we have to do.
Yeah. And then it's obviously a new year. Usually around this time, people are starting to ask, how do we get more engaged? Right. What can we participate in? What opportunities are out there? We've been able to highlight leads groups and committees before in the past. You can find those in the video section from previously. And then we also have marketing and advertising that's out there. We held off on doing the outreach campaign that we generally do just because we're conscious that you guys are holding on to your pennies and everything, right, during this time. But if you are one of those businesses that's actually had it significantly different and you're doing tremendously well during this time and are interested in additional outreach through our organization marketing, we also do have those as opportunities. So The best way you can find out about leads groups and committees are on our website. You can also email us directly, and I will pull that up onto the screen, info@westminsterchamber.biz, and we'll be happy to share with you any additional information. But Peter, I know you have one more thing, and we've gone over time slightly, so I want to be sure that we hit that before we close out.
So one thing I just wanted to share, I am a marketing consultant and been doing marketing for small business for many years now. And I partnered with the SBDC for the last 4 or 5 years to provide consulting through them. But we do a lot of workshops and training. And we've actually partnered through the SBDC with the city of Westminster to do a special marketing boot camp. It's actually going to be a 6-week marketing boot camp. And we're going to dig into all aspects of marketing for your business and come out the other side with a very specific marketing action plan for 2021. The benefit is if you're a business in the city of Westminster, you have to pay for it up front. But if you complete the course, the city's going to reimburse you. So essentially, it'll be free. But I'll grab this link here and post it in. If you have some interest in checking that out, we'll be doing a kind of an info session next week on that. Oh, I don't know how to post a comment here.
Oh, did you give it to me in the private? Is that where you were doing it? No, I don't see it on there.
Can I send it there? I'll send it there.
Perfect.
And yeah, so I'm looking forward to do that. It's kind of a culmination of a lot of training that I've done. And this will be the first time I've kind of combined it all together and developed an end product. So this is the same things that I do for lots of businesses. We do strategy and create marketing action plans, but I'll be teaching you how you can do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And all the tools and checklist and planning and all that stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun.
And the program has like a scholarship component that actually covers the costs and offsets it, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So the link for information about the digital marketing bootcamp is included in the comment section of this broadcast. Again, this is open to businesses in our community. It is a partnership between both Peter, the SBDC, and the city of Westminster. So if you are interested in ramping up your digital marketing, which is probably the best idea you can be doing right now during COVID, please be sure that you click that link. They have scholarships that cover and offsets the actual tuition cost that's there. And so that would be a terrific opportunity for you guys to be able to benefit from. We do have a quick congratulatory message, and this time somebody actually wrote it into the right section. So I did bash on Jason earlier because he commented in another area, but Brian is giving us a quick congrats to you, Peter.
Thanks, Brian.
The next board chairman. So
we've had some really, I have a lot to do and very big shoes to fill. So Brian Head and Brian Dice and all the other great chairmen that we've had in the past. So
I'm just happy that we just broke up the whole Brian thing.
Yeah, we had enough Brian there for a while.
What's going on here? I'm glad that I got stuck with it, but it's a new page right now. We've got Peter, and we're going to change it up from here. So thank you for that note, Brian. We have touched on a number of items. We touched on COVID, the 5-star program, and how we're involved in that, and where you can get more information. Included the details on the Jeffco side into the comment section of the broadcast. We've also touched on funding sources that are out there and have gone in detail on the EIDL and PPP. We've even touched on the state small business programs that are available both now in Jeffco and Adams County. Both links are in the comment section. So if you're a business located in either of those counties, that's where you would find out the information on whether you qualify, whether you're eligible, and how to apply so that you can have access to that. We've gone in detail about the other events and programs that we have coming up, including our We Love Westy for a chance at $5,000. Notice this time I only gave one hand up, $5,000 in cash. And then we've also gone over information about this digital boot camp, and we've touched on FAQs that have come through here into the comment section, along with FAQs as it relates to ribbon cuttings and involvement and business orientations and all of that. I know we went over slightly, but I wanted to be sure that we hit on a number of things that we have coming up. We will be back here in February for another chamber update. So if you're watching this video and you watch it and we're no longer live, give us the hashtag replay on it. So you can always share later on a nice congratulatory note to Peter onto this video as well for his new role as chairman of our board. And of course, as we launch both the We Love Westy and the Business Orientation RCP pages, we'll drop those into the comment section and create separate posts for you. So be sure that you're following this page as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Peter, thank you so much for
Juliet.
Yeah, for wanting to be outward facing and answering questions for folks and getting a chance to be under fire. I mean, you've signed up for this of your own free will. And so I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, happy to do it. Love serving our businesses.